The same phenomenon that gives us high and low tides in the ocean also does the same with the fluids in our body, and it seems to manifest in our emotions having big highs and big lows when there is a full moon. And that's the case this week, Tuesday, the 19th of February. It's not only full, it's a supermoon, meaning it's at perigee, it's at its closest place in orbit to the Earth, and so it will look much bigger, and so will make a wonderful photographic opportunity and also romantic opportunity. You can howl at this moon for sure. And also, Mars is going to get into the act with the full moon and give you a helping hand. In other words, he's going to help us have a calm tolerance of other people's ideas. At the same time, we are going to stand firm in our beliefs. Hi, I'm Judith Royal, archetypal astrologer, and this is your astrology weather forecast for the week of February 18th to 24th, 2019. And we start Monday with another phenomenon, which is the sun is going to move into the constellation, the sign of Pisces. And with the full moon coming the very next day, what's going to happen is the sun and the moon will be opposing each other, both of them at 0 degrees. And why do I mention that? When we're at 0 degrees, we're at the birth, the very most innocent point of the journey through that sign. Pisces sun being in the first day of the 30 days in Pisces, and the moon, the Virgo moon, in her first hour in the sign of Virgo. So a full moon always illuminates something that you haven't seen before, and that's true for us because we're watching. And this Tuesday, the something is related to the sign and house of that moon. So Virgo is the house of healing, the energy of healing. And this full moon being there is going to light up the healer in you. And for that healing, what you want is to integrate that opposing Pisces sun energy. And that is, well, in that 0 degrees especially, it's a siren's call to the poet in you, the musician, and yes, the dreamer, the visionary, because also this gives you great clairvoyance and intuition, imagination, and you'll have then this empathic responsiveness to the feelings of other people, but also to your own. So this is a time, this whole week especially, to plumb those secret, sort of mystical depths of yourself, maybe you don't pay attention to regularly, and remembering that that kind of sonar is without boundaries, because Pisces is the ocean, right? And so there's going to be a fine line holding you from martyrdom and self-sacrifice, because that's the shadow side of this full moon. You'll find that any place in which you notice your thoughts are, or you're just dispirited, you're discouraged, because just below that level of consciousness, we all sort of carry this vague sense that we're not at home in this world. And by that, I mean the world of ego and bodies, right? Because we're all, of course, beautiful spirits of love, trying to come into this world and remember who we truly are. So tides will be higher, meaning emotions will be more intense. And during this supermoon, which is going to be so beautiful and large, warrior Mars, who went into the sign of Taurus on Valentine's Day, and so he's also at the very beginning 2 degrees of Taurus, and he's getting in the act, not just with that ability for tolerance while at the same time you stand firm in your beliefs, but he's also going to add this vivid technicolor to your emotions. So you'll feel very assertive, strong in your intentions. So far, we have a sun in water, we have the moon in earth, we have Mars in earth. And so you might notice, those of you who have an air sign, which would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, we once again have absolutely no celestial bodies in an air sign, except that the moon's going to help you out this Thursday and Friday. But what does that add up to as we have this week with this big full moon? First of all, is not a great time to take a test like the LSATs or even the SATs, because we're just not in that intellectualizing area without our air signs. But what we do have is we can dig our heels in stubbornly and just sort of refuse to change anything, or we can become impatient because maybe something looks like it's moving way too slowly, and then we will impulsively jump into something without first thinking it over. Again, no air signs. You fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, we start off this week on Monday the 18th with the moon in fiery Leo. You're in great shape, fire signs, and all of us, air and fire, of course, combustion, so that gives support to those with air signs. And on Monday, it is just a phenomenal day for... you're just going to feel expansive, optimistic in your mood. I think you'll have spiritual epiphanies. And also the Venus is going to, she's sitting right now between Pluto and Sheriff Saturn in Capricorn, which I think I mentioned before is not her favorite place, but because, you know, she's a party girl. She likes beautiful things and so forth. And Saturn is rather stodgy and a bit too serious. And on Monday, her journey in Capricorn, she meets up exactly with Sheriff Saturn. Now, the good news about that is we feel grounded in our relationships. And if you're in a romantic relationship, this will bring a commitment that would be long-term. So no short-term falling in love, who wants to fall, right? But rather something that has a lasting contribution to your life. Now, Tuesday, again, is that super full moon in Virgo, and it's also, she's going to trine that Mars that I mentioned, so we get a lot of help from that. And that's the first full day of the sun in Pisces. The big day this week is Wednesday. I guess the super full moon is a big day, but actually the busiest day astrologically is Wednesday. The moon will be in Virgo still from that full moon, and is going to give us this lovely, harmonious interaction with all those Capricorn planets, meaning you are stable now in your moods, all those mood swings, you're done with that. and you're just feeling so loving, so generous spirited with everyone. And it's a day for getting organized. The moon in Virgo is always the best time to clean house and get organized. But the moon is also in a lovely harmony with Saturn. And so Saturn's is organization. Your thoughts also will be more organized on Wednesday. So Wednesday is always a great day for communications. So this Wednesday in particular is one of those times where if you do have to solve a problem, maybe a misunderstanding between you and someone else, it will work out beautifully on Wednesday. And thank goodness, Thursday is a day of rest. So Thursday is ruled by Jupiter, and we always feel generous, spirited. It's a day of, that's why we have Thanksgiving. So I propose this is a great day to just spend in gratitude, reminding yourself throughout the day all the gifts that you have in your life. And Friday is always Venus's day. I think that's why we have the TGIF. We're always glad to see Friday. And let me share, I got some lovely Valentines from people, and I got a wonderful quote from a dear old friend that I think you'll enjoy. It is good to love many things, for therein lies true strength. And whosoever loves much performs much and can accomplish much. And what is done in love is well done. That's from Vincent van Gogh back in the 1800s, right? That's like art and love wrapped in a creative package. Now, Saturday, the 23rd, you're going to get a surprise. The moon has slipped into Scorpio's deep waters, and that's early hours of Saturday. And so we have a day that is much more directed towards mysteries. So we have that theme throughout this week. And you get a surprise. Perhaps an old friend comes by, or a childhood memory pops up from your unconscious mind so that it can be healed in the light. Just try not to resist that event. Just welcome it. It will be for your best interest, I promise you. And then Sunday, the 24th, we finish the week with the moon still in Scorpio. And Scorpio gives a mystical feeling to the whole weekend, but especially on Sunday, when you can add to that some epiphanies coming through your imagination and that wonderful technicolor emotions that we're going to have for this whole week. And remember that your destiny, as written by your soul in the stars, would say to you that you are in exactly the right place right now, and it is exactly the right time for you to remember that you are the light of the world. Thank you for listening, for joining me. I'll say goodbye for now.